What's up, everybody, and welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. Today we're going to let the cat out of the bag. That's right, we're going to go ahead and expose, which is what BioS 3 was all about to begin with in the beginning, about these natural or retired natural bodybuilders. Why did they retire? Why did they retire at such a young age? What's the deal? And because I've known natural bodybuilders who well into their 60s and 70s have kept competing if they really loved it that much, and their placings didn't really matter, so they would just continue to compete until basically they died. I mean, they're still competing. So why do these let's go back and talk about this crop of natural bodybuilders that are now retired. Now, I'm not going to say they were or weren't on anything, but I'm going to mention a crop of natural bodybuilders that competed in a certain time frame. Skip LaCour, Jeff Willett, Lane Norton. There's a whole bunch of these guys that were competing in natural bodybuilding. And it was all within a time frame, and they're all now since retired. Now, why at such young ages are these guys retired? Now, here's the deal. Now, I'm not going to say them, because that would be, unfounded, because I wasn't with them when they were bodybuilding. But back when they were competing, there were compounds available like androstenediol, 19-norandrostenediol, 19-norandrostenediol, which are considered the pro hormones. There's one called endotest or something like that. And there was also one called 1-methyl-1-testosterone. Now, methyl test is something they replace D-bol with because it's cheaper. So in the black market, you'll get fake D-bol. You're getting usually methyl testosterone. And the methyl-1 test is like a souped-up version of that. And it was on the market available as a food supplement. You could buy it at different stores. Usually GNC didn't carry it because they kind of knew better. They knew, well, this stuff is probably going to get taken off the market. It's going to cost us more to pull it than it is to put it on the shelves. So these other companies sold it, and these natural bodybuilders took it. Now, if you know anything about these compounds, these are absolutely anabolic steroids and powerful anabolic steroids. And a lot of these guys that looked okay as natural bodybuilders suddenly made these giant jumps and leaps in their physique, almost like the IFBB pros that were not natural were doing. And they were dry, hard, shredded, and they were like between 160 and 198. They were all about that size. So they were somewhere in that size. So there was something happening where it allowed all these guys, no matter what height they were, to be around the same size. And like the IFBB pros, right? They're around between 220 and 250 is roughly where they compete at. So what happened? Well, here's what happened. You could take this methyl test or whatever, however they say it, and you can go take a polygraph test. And during the polygraph test, I myself have taken them. They ask you, did you take anything illegal for this contest? No. You would be telling the truth, because technically you'd buy it at the supplement shop. Did you take any anabolic steroids for this competition? No, because at the time they didn't know that they were anabolic steroids. They were being sold legally. And to be honest with you, some of the natural bodybuilders themselves may not have known. They just may have been told about a product that works great. It's a supplement. They may have been taking it not actually knowing that this thing is an anabolic steroid. Doesn't change the fact that they're still not natural, even though they don't know they're not natural. Then they'll say, did you take any clenbuterol or growth hormone in preparation for this contest? No, which they didn't because they didn't take any of that stuff. Did you take any prescription diuretics? No. Well, maybe they took Expel or Tiraxetone or something natural. And then they'll ask them, did you knowingly use any banned substance getting ready for this competition? No, and that also would be true. So now basically they are telling the truth, although they get a powerful steroid in their body that makes them look like they're on steroids. So as they go to get the urine test, there was no urinalysis test for methyl-1-testosterone back then. There was no urine test for androstenediol or norandrostenediol or any of these things, the endo test, none of that stuff. There was nothing that would test for those back then. So they would test negative. They were looking for D-bol, Winstrol, Anadrol, Anavar, anything but those compounds are what they were looking for. Because basically they didn't even know they existed as far as testing goes, because as far as they were concerned, it was a supplement. So now you have this run, this string of natural bodybuilders who have a great run, and they give everybody hope that they're natural, I can do it, and they get pumped up, and they go to companies like AST Research, and I took creatine from AST and dimetadrine and this and that, and they go to these other companies, and they're on the posters, and the companies don't even friggin' know probably that they're taking something that's not, that is a steroid, and natural this, natural that, and next thing you know, boom, they figure out, they being the government, the different federations, they figure out, well shit, this stuff is steroids. This stuff is not legal. It does stuff to your body that is a drug-like effect. So they start banning them. And one by one, they go on the ban list. And next thing you know, oh shit, this methyl 1 testosterone, this is causing liver issues. It's causing the quote-unquote fatty liver, like someone's been drinking for 20 years, a case of beer a night. Well shit, that stuff can't be good either. They ban that stuff. Well now all of a sudden, these guys are like, well shit, that's all the stuff that I was taking. So now they go back to the drawing board and start using these new supplements that actually don't have any of the hormones in them, that aren't steroids, and they don't get the gains, and they don't look the same. And now they realize, they're like, shit, I was on something that made me look like that. If I come out and say I took that, now people are going to be like, it's okay, we forgive you because you didn't know, but you're not natural, and you weren't natural. So now you get discredited. You lose everything you worked for being a natural bodybuilder. So now what do? You have no choice. You retire and move on to something else. Something else would be training people, something else would be powerlifting, something else would be, starting a nutrition company, helping nutrition companies formulate stuff, because you still have that title, that aura of, I was one of the best natural bodybuilders ever to exist, but all under the guise that you were taking something that was a drug, whether you knew it or not. So guys and girls, pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on around you. When these guys retired young for no reason, when they were claiming to be the best, and have the best programs and the best training, and they get the best diets, and they can help anyone get in shape, why did they stop before they ever really fulfill their potential? I can guarantee you that there were contests that these guys would have wanted to go in and win, like maybe Muscle Mania or who knows what the other ones were, but they all just stopped competing, and now there's a new crop of guys that are up and coming, natural bodybuilders, and whether these guys know it or not, the supplements they could be taking very well could be like Epistain and Halodral and all this shit that's natural still, maybe giving them that look, and there's a whole new generation of people to look up to, because that other generation retired. They couldn't do it anymore. They retired, and the new generation is taking over, and that's how it's going. So it's recycling itself. So pay attention to what's going on out there. Just because someone says they're natural doesn't mean they're natural. Just because someone says, well, I'm not a mass monster, I didn't gain 50 pounds, I've only gained 20 pounds since I started training, doesn't mean that they didn't take something, doesn't mean they didn't know they didn't take something, doesn't mean that some shit is going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. But pay attention, do your detective work. If they're all leaving the sport because they just feel like retiring, something's up. bioctraining@gmail.com. Leave your comments down below. www.bioctraining.com is the blog, and we're out.